Hey, welcome. This is a video for that nice gentleman asked me why I built whirligigs the size that I build them. Well, like most things, I do things back to front. I built my first whirligig and somebody wanted to buy it off me. I thought, great, I'll put it in a box. Now the only trouble was I made it 2 inches too big, the propellers, because it wouldn't go in the box. Here in the UK, you can post things with the Royal Mail. We have, hang on, I'm just going to make a box up for you. It's just so silly. And if you put it in a box this size, hang on, let me just put the box together for you, because these were the boxes I used. Yeah, I know it looks silly on the camera. Anyway, this was the box that I used, which you can post. You could post one of these boxes up to 2 kilos anywhere in the UK for, I think it was £3.20, and they are. Let me just. I've got a tape measure here. Look, so I can give it to you. They're 450, I think, by 350. Yeah, by 16. So the first one I made when to post it, I put the whirligig to pieces, and the biggest bit to go in there was the propeller, right? And of course, my first propeller wouldn't fit in the box, so instead of being able to post it for £3.50 or $3.50 or whatever, right? It was going to cost nearly 3 times as much. So I then decided I had to make the propeller the size so it went in the box. Can you see? So in the end, that's why I finished up. It sounds most peculiar, but that's why I finished up with a propeller this size. So it would fit in the box like that. Can you see? And then if I can show you what size the propeller is, it's 16 inches. Can you see? Just about 16 inches. So and that's how we finished up with it. And the blades were then sort of 7 inches, 7.5 inches. The blades, as you can see, were 7.5 inches. So and then the thing in the middle was 2.5 inches. Can you see? 2.5 inches for the hub. So that's how we finished up with the size. It wasn't because that was the best propeller or dynamically or whatever. It was because that would fit in the box so I could post it, because that was quite important. So then you think, well, if that's the size of the propeller that we made, and as you can see, this is one that's not even been painted. This is, and you can see here then that the screws that I screwed, put a pilot hole in and just screwed these screws in, and just put a bit of wood. I don't even think this one's even got glue in it. No, it hasn't, but that's still standard. Yeah, good fit. And this is when I went over to using marine ply. Can you see? Rather than cutting them out of solid pieces of wood. So that's how the propeller turns up. And then it was just a case of working out proportionally how I thought it would look best. Therefore, that was the base. Let me just take. Hang on. Let me just take the green backing out, and you might be able to see it a bit better, mightn't you? Yeah. And then it was just a case of thinking, oh well, how would it look, sort of on there like that, and that was and that was the size we finished up with. Sorry about the camera work; it's not very good. So therefore, once we worked out the propeller size, we made the bases up. As you know, if you've watched me, I made quite a few different bases. Again, the thickness was depending on whatever wood I could get my hands on, because I used to use old shelving or whatever. As a matter of fact, this has come out of a nice big solid old gate post. This was, and I think, again, I don't think it's important. That's an inch, and the length was 13 inches. Yeah. I don't think it's crucial, whether it's a foot or whether it's 16 inches. It makes no difference. But it was just so that it looked to my eye correct. So therefore, then we then built this up. These originally started a lot longer, but once I thought, well, no, because if you're going to take it up longer, all you're doing is you're using more of the bed, so that gives you less room to put your your figurine on, you know, your object. So we went to that length there, and that just sat on that end there like that. You see, let me give you the size of that, if anybody's interested. The size of that, oh, that's 2 inches. Look at that. So that's 2 inches, and again that's 1.25 inches by 1.5 inches. And then that sort of sits on there like that, just screwed on. And as you know, it just goes in with 2 screws, and it's just screwed on there. And so really I did it so to me it looked right. It didn't look overbalanced. And again, this one here is done just with the 2 nuts, one there and one there, with those plastic liners that go in there. And of course the bracket is, you know, just if you look at one of my other videos, I'll show you how to make these. I just put a flat edge on the end, and then a little pot, with a centre pot, and then just drill a hole through, put the wire through, bend the wire into the shape that I want, and then just do the shake-proof nut up so it holds it nice and tight, and that goes in like that, which works quite well. I made the hole on the propeller the size so you actually can screw that on. I tend to then put a wing nut on the end of it, just to hold it on, to make sure it holds on. So that was that bit. And again, it was just how I felt it looked. If it looked right, it looked right, which it did. So we can lay that there. So there, and then we come to to support it. And again, I've done this very different ways. This again is one that I went to the thin threaded bit. This is, I used some old bolts, 3-inch bolts, and made the hole very tight, screwed it in, bit of araldite, done it up, stuck it up, and that was it. That worked well. And then that sort of sits there, and depending on where you put your figurine and propeller, you can move this up and down to get the balance right. Does that make sense? So you can move that and just screw it on the base wherever you want, yeah. And then we had the post, which sort of sat there. Again, that has a washer in it as well. That just goes in there, and that sits there like that. And then we had the base plate at the bottom. It was, that's what, as you can see, that's how I thought it would look right, and that's the propeller there. So that is the base thing. All my later whirligigs were all based on this system, which was the standard post, the standard bit there. You can move this up and down to get the balance right, and then you've got the armature bit there for the propeller on. And so every whirligig has that with the propeller, and then it just comes up until you put your figurine on. Size of the figurine, well, again, so it just looks right. This is the bear one, the fishing bear. He just sits on there like that, and he goes up and down, and works very well. So there you go. That is how I finished up with sizes. I wouldn't say that I went away and designed it on a computer or CAD or whatever it was. I just built it, and this is what we finished up with. So want any more information, don't forget to ask. I do try to help out with people if they've got any information. A few people have bought the hubs off me, because I did have now that I don't make whirligigs no more, not a mass production, but I had a few hubs left over that I had made. If you want those, they're on eBay. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it didn't go on too long. Hope it answered all those questions about how I finished up with the sizes, so that so then we could then, when people bought them, we could then stick them in the box. Still got a box left over, and as you can see, it's to wrap it up with bubble wrap. That used to go in there like that. That used to sit in there. Then you would get the other bits in there like that, all wrapped up in bubble wrap. Send the box up, post it up, send it away. Send me £25. I was happy. You was happy. Everybody was happy. Don't forget. Thanks a lot. This was Mr. Whirligig signing off from here in rainy Norfolk in the UK. Don't forget what the YouTube say you have to do every time you watch a YouTube video. You have to subscribe, you have to tick the bell, you have to do this, you have to do that. Don't bother, to be honest with you. But most of all, be kind to the animals. Mr. Whirligig signing off. Thanks a lot. Be good. Bye. Hey, welcome back. If you're never fed up with whirligigs, I can always show you another one. This is a whirligig, one of my very early ones. It's an idea that I started with him and really didn't get it right, so I never sort of made him in mass production. But this is based on the fishing bear one, which I did one where you got a bear fishing. This was the man fishing, and as you can see, we're still on the thin base, which, as you know, I've moved on to the thicker base. We're still using this same mechanism here. We're down to just the 2 bolts, which is good. But it did work. I rather than made the fishing rod, which on the if you've seen the bear one, this is all made out of wood. I did it with a bit of wire and just cut the fish out and put the fish on there like that. That's the man fishing. The proportions are quite wrong. The legs are far too big for the body. But I played with it. I never did. This is, I think I've made two further ones after this one, but they never looked right and they never worked right. What happens was, as you can see, the wind's just about to blow. The fish never looked right. The fish was too big. It just never worked. So I sort of gave up with it. But it's another idea. As you can see, there's so many different things you can do on a with a whirligig. So I'm just making chit chat because hopefully the wind's going to blow any second now, and if the wind blows, you might actually see another problem we had with it. Come on, wind. No. So there you go. If you want to make a fishing man one, that's the way we do the fishing man one. So this is Mr. Whirligig signing off with not one of his better whirligigs, but still, it was still a whirligig, and I like it. I stick them in the garden every now and again. What I tend to do on our house now, where we live now, is every now and again I've got this sort of stand in the garden here, and I just go and put a different whirligig on it every now and again. Keeps the neighbours happy, doesn't it? They quite like it, want to know which is the next one's coming along. So there you go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Is it going to go? No. Again, it's all about the balance. You've got to get this sort of balance quite right, and this bit here, so it doesn't. Here we go. Look, there he goes. Look, see, yeah, see, there he goes. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Perfect. There you go. And that's the fisherman. Fred? No, I haven't really given him a name. Anyway, it's Mr. Whirligig signing off. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you again soon. Don't forget, I have to say this on every video, YouTube tell me to, don't forget to click the bell and subscribe, please. And most of all, if you can't do those first 2 things, but you certainly can be kind to the animals. Thanks a lot. Be good. Bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. If you'd like to support my channel, you can do so by obviously sharing and liking and subscribing to the channel. But even more, I'd appreciate it more if you'd love to buy me a cup of tea so I can dunk my biscuits into. It would be greatly appreciated. Follow the link in the description. Thank you.